Welcome to twoquestions.tv. Mike Michalowicz is back, and we're talking about his new book, Clockwork. Welcome to twoquestions.tv. I'm Susan Baroncini-Moe. Joining me again today is Mike Michalowicz. He's a speaker, an author. He wrote the wonderful book, Profit First. He created the Profit First formula as a way for businesses to ensure profitability from their very next deposit forward. And now he's the author of this book, Clockwork, Design Your Business to Run Itself. Hi, Mike. Welcome back to the show.
Hi, Susan. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm so happy to have an early copy of this, uncorrected and everything.
Yeah, there are errors in there. I'm actually making a shift now. Like one whole story is getting moved to a new spot, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close.
Well, is it the first story? Because the really gut-wrenching one?
That's actually staying where it is. That's a tough opening.
But
yeah.
It is. It's no joke. No joke. And I'll tell you, it is. And see, this is how we get people. This is how we reel them in, right? There's a gut-wrenching, familiar story at the very beginning of this book. And it is a story where I felt it and I thought, oh my gosh, I know her. I've been her.
Yeah.
And it's not literally, but I know that pain and that fear. And in the book, you talk about how entrepreneurs have become way too comfortable with the hardship. So they keep doing the things that we keep doing the things that keep us in that same state. And I get that. So how do we end up at that point? Because I've heard it said, we get to this point gradually and then suddenly. And so
I love it.
That's like a Hemingway thing, right? So how do we end up there and how do we prevent that from happening?
Well, the decree to be a workaholic or the expectation of that of an entrepreneur starts from day one. I mean, we have to, the business is fully and exclusively dependent upon us. So we have to do everything. Yeah. So there's we don't even question. We just start working like crazy. At a certain point, it becomes the norm. And the funny thing is I've seen and experienced, there's this, in my business, I'm like, I don't know if I can work any harder. I need to hire someone, but I can't afford them. Yeah. If I can't afford them, that means the only way past is to work harder. So the expectation of myself is always to work harder until I get to this transition point. The thing is, it'll never happen. We never get to that transition. So we just work harder and harder and harder, and it becomes exhausting. Then we also start to think that this is the norm. I guess this is what entrepreneurship is. It's work harder. And I think that's the sudden moment when we think, oh, I guess this is what entrepreneurship's about. And then we become exhausted. So it is required upon us in the beginning. It becomes such a habit that we become comfortable with that uncomfortable habit of working harder, and we don't know a way to break out of it. Right. So that's why I propose, you talked about already the vacation. I propose a radical implementation of a vacation specifically to give us that jolt. It's kind of like the shock when someone's in cardiac arrest, they apply that shock. To make a shift, we need a shocking event to happen. And that's why I suggest that strategy. Yeah.
Well, and as we were talking before the interview, I confessed, I have not taken a vacation I've taken a vacation, for the last probably 15 years, every vacation I've taken, I've worked at least one full day. So I take one day out of the vacation and I work with my clients and I meet with everybody. Yeah. And, my family goes off and does their thing. When we were in England, we took the kids to an amusement park. I stayed in the B&B and wrote my book. Yeah. I'm constantly checking emails. And so you actually ask your reader to commit to a 4-week vacation sometime in the next 18 months. And when I read that, I was like, no. 4 weeks? No, I can't do that. That can't happen. But let's talk, how is that even a thing? I mean, I've seen others do it, but how do you get there?
Yeah. So first, I think we have to understand the significance of this. Like your family's welfare, I would argue, is dependent upon this. Could you imagine? I couldn't imagine my mother going on vacation with my family, like we did once a year. My mother saying, "I can't join you kids at the park." Like that would have been devastating to me as a child. Yeah. And I came to realize that's what I'm doing to my own children. We were going to the beach or whatever, and I'm physically there, but I'm not there. When it comes to the vacation, what I found is if people elect to do a 1 week vacation, I found it very popular with entrepreneurs, and myself included, to ramp and amplify the amount of work volume we're doing right up into and leading into the vacation
Yeah.
with the hopes that we can extend, that work will carry us over. If I can just work hard enough, I can step away for a week and I don't have to worry about anything. When I return, some work will pile up.
Yeah.
What I found is when we decree a 2-week vacation, that's when we say, well, I can afford to spend, a couple of days working here and there, which means every day we work. Every day we work. When it comes to a 3-week vacation, no one ever declares a 3-week vacation. It's oddball. So either you go on 1 week or 2 weeks, but no one declares a 3 weeks. And 4 weeks, I found something fascinating happens. If I remove myself from my business for 4 weeks, literally my business will go through every event that a business typically goes through. Because 4 weeks is a month.
Right.
Billings will happen. A new client prospect may present itself. A client may get upset and threaten not to pay a bill or worse. Services will have to be delivered. Products may be returned. Every element of our business is typically touched within a full month cycle.
Right.
By declaring a 4-week vacation, what it requires instantly is a mind shift change, saying, holy crap, I am not around for my business to do any of the critical, sustainable elements. I can't work hard enough leading up to it that I can bridge myself for 4 weeks.
Right.
So it's an extraordinary enough of a commitment that we have a mind shift. With that mind shift change, now we start looking at our business not as a employee within the business that works like an animal. Now we have to look at our business as a true chess master, moving the right pieces of the business in the right place to deliver a victory for ourselves.
Right.
The one other little tip is when we decree a 4-week vacation, 18 months out, I think is the appropriate time, maybe 1 year out, is we start doing tests. Take 1 week off, take 2 weeks off leading up to it to see if the business can actually sustain without our presence.
Yeah.
I myself am going on a 4-week vacation. I am 6 months away from it. From December 7th to January 7th, I'm out. And I'm preparing for it. I'm going on a week's vacation in 2 weeks as my next test. And I've already gone on a 2-week vacation as a test. And did the business run perfectly? No. Did the business collapse and die? Not at all. What it revealed was I found now some of the weak spots, and I'm fixing that through appropriate part-time hires and better systemization. But if we keep on going on for these 1-week vacations, we'll never improve our business because we'll try to bridge through it. We have to make an audacious commitment to make an audacious shift in our mindset.
Okay. No, it's funny. A part of this, and you talk about this in the queen bee role, a part of this involves getting super intentional and focused on what you're really doing and what's the most important part of that. And that's something that I've actually been doing in my business in the last few weeks. And so this book came for me at a perfect time because I thought, okay, I'm going to have to work this plan. This is a very organized system for me I've been doing it just my own way, but this really allows me to do it in a very intentional, focused way, which means you should look for an email from me soon. Good. So yeah, I know I'm working the plan, man. I want that month vacation. Now convincing my husband to do it is another matter, but we'll get there. Yeah.
Oh, so it's interesting that if you have a business partner who's also a spouse, the dynamic is interesting.
Yeah.
I'm guiding a business through this right now, and the wife, who's the owner of the business, is full in on for 4 weeks, has been preparing. The husband, who's an employee of the business, cannot see it. And so his response is he's actually working harder in the business. And there's been, we had a conference call with the employees, and they said, I'll just say his first name is Dave. They said, Dave is compromising our ability to be a successful business because he keeps on inserting himself. And so it's become just an interesting dynamic.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah. So to get the buy-in from a partner, spouse or not, it can be difficult, but they have to see like the reason we started a business is not for us to serve the business. It's so the business will serve us.
Yeah.
Like that's why we did this in the first place. So we have to get grounded back into why we are doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Mike, where can people find you?
If you want to get hold of me, go to MikeMichalowicz.com. Here's the beautiful thing. My last name is the most difficult name to spell on the planet. So there's a shortcut. It's MikeMotorbike.com. My nickname in high school was Mike Motorbike. I never drove a motorcycle, by the way, so that's ironic. But go to MikeMotorbike.com. You can get a free chapter download from Clockwork along with all my other books and tons of other free content there today.
Awesome. Okay, Mike, thanks for joining me today. Would you
Susan,
like
thanks so much for having me.
You can hear me now. Okay, we've got a weird connection today. Would you like to join me on the after show?
I would love to.
Oh, great. Okay. So viewers, if you would like to join Mike and me for the after show, come with us. We're going over to 2questions.tv, which is the only place you can find the after show. So we'll see you over there. And in the meantime, here's the book. Yours will look a little different than mine. This is an uncorrected proof. So just ignore that part. But this is the book. Make sure you get your copy because this is indispensable reading for the entrepreneur. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.